Salut YouTube, and welcome to this episode of Not Even French, where I will be sharing some of the filthiest French expressions I have ever heard. And not only are they kind of filthy, dirty, by the way, if you've got little ones around, you might want to put your headphones in at this point, but they're kind of hilarious too. So we are going to be diving into those and translating them into English for you. As usual, I'll be putting the text on the screen so that you can see the spelling of these phrases as well. And if you are French and watching this and you have some filthy expressions of your own up your sleeve, I would love for you to drop them down into the comment section, because part of learning a language means learning this kind of stuff as well. It's those idioms, it's those sayings, and it's that slang, and it's a way to understand what's going on in the world around you. So I am a big fan of learning about expressions, and these ones are particularly filthy. They don't necessarily mean something dirty or filthy, but just using crude words, let's say. So we are going to have a lot of fun on this episode, but just before we jump in, I did want to let you know that the Lingoda language sprint is back on. This is their famous promotion where you can get up to a 100% cashback when you accelerate your language learning over a 3-month period. Let me explain. So essentially 2 words come to mind for me when I think about the Lingoda language sprint, that is progress and cashback. Essentially, it's a language learning accelerator where students are pushed to commit to their chosen language. It can be French, English, business English, Spanish, or German. And they have to show up and take classes consistently for 3 months straight. And if they do that and they commit to the classes and they actually show up, they will earn up to a 100% cashback.
Sign me up.
Yes, it's intense, but you can literally transform your language speaking skills from small talk and beginner to full-on conversational. So what do you need to know? Essentially, this round of the Sprint Challenge is going to kick off on August 2nd, 2021. You've got a couple of options. The first is to do the Sprint, which is 15 classes per month for 3 months. And through committing to this challenge and showing up to your classes, you can earn a 50% cashback. For that, you've got up until July 16th to sign up. If you want to take it to the next level, you can commit to the Super Sprint. The Super Sprint is 30 classes per month for 3 months. And if you attend them all, you get a 100% cashback. Of course, you need to read the T's and C's on the website and the rules of the game, but essentially that's the concept in a nutshell. However, what you need to know is that the 100% cashback option, the Super Sprint, is only available until June 24th. It's a special early bird offer. So after the 24th of June, if you miss that deadline, you'll still be able to sign up to it until July 16th, just like the Sprint. However, you'll only be eligible for 50% cashback. To sign up, you just need to click my link down below, and I've also got a code for you, FAST10, which is going to give you 20 euros off your deposit. You know how much I love Lingoda. I use them myself in order to up my language level from B1 to C1 in just a period of 3 months. It was absolutely insane, the progress that I made, and I have subscribers from all around the world who are messaging me all the time as well, telling me that they've done it and they've really enjoyed it too. It works because it's online, it's fully flexible, you can take classes 24/7 that adapt around your schedule. The group sizes are extremely small, just 2 to 3 people on average, maximum 5, so you have loads of access to your qualified native speaking professors as well to ask them any questions that you have. So if you are ready to sign up for this intensive experience, absolutely go for it. Link is in the description, discount code is in the description. Let me know how you get on, and happy language learning. Okay, so my first French expression, which is a little bit dirty, is this one. So the French don't say that someone is unpleasant. They say that someone is badly F-U-C-K-E-D. Être mal baisé. Now this is a horrendous expression, especially because it can really only be used with females, so it's incredibly sexist as well, and extremely derogatory. But this would be used especially when a female in particular is, I don't know, hysterical or making a scene, or even just, I don't know, standing up for herself. If she gets a little bit aggressive and turning a guy down or something like that, you could absolutely hear someone say, "Oh, quelle mal baisée celle-là." It's essentially saying that that person is just really unenjoyable to be around, like causing a scene or behaving in a way that you don't like. I told you this list was going to be filthy. My second filthy French expression is The French don't just say, I need to go to the bathroom. They say, je crois que j'ai le top au guichet. And this is so gross. But it means that you really badly need to run to the bathroom, especially to do number 2s, and it's about to come. And a top, le top, is a mole, and a guichet is a ticket booth. Like when you go down to the metro to buy the tickets, or if you're at the train station to buy the tickets, that thing is called a guichet. So in that example, they're saying, I think that I have a mole at the ticket booth. What the hell, France? Okay, the next one is a filthy expression, a way of saying I'm cold. And this expression is se pouler le gens. Le gens is the tip of the penis, essentially. There's no better way of saying it. And the English equivalent would be bell end. And so it's like saying, I'm so cold, I'm peeling my own bell end. Je me pèle le gens. I guess an English equivalent would be saying like, I've got shrinkage, for a guy to say that, but yeah. Ugh. You can also say se pouler le cul, which would translate literally to I'm peeling my own ass, but it would be the equivalent of I'm freezing my ass off. Next up, the French won't just say that you're being rude and ignorant, but they will call you an ass comb. Un peigne cul. Quite literally, an ass comb. I'm not sure in which situations a comb would be required for an ass, but apparently there was one, and then someone could be one. Next up, the French won't just say that you're making a scene, but they'll say that you're having a nervous poop. So faire un caca nerveux, and it means that you're making a scene, okay? So you're nervously pooping everywhere. Apparently it's the equivalent. This one is quite hilarious. So the French won't say that a woman is busty, but they will say il y a du monde au balcon, which means there's a lot of people on the balcony. This one is just, I have this image in mind of all these people squeezed onto a balcony, like, you know, just absolutely overflowing, and that's what it means. And the imagery is very much like, you know, wearing a tight dress with your boobs kind of spilling out kind of thing. And I don't know if they used to speak like this, but I wonder if it comes from the days where women were wearing tight corsets. You know how it has that almost plunging effect with the boobs coming out over the top? I wonder if it's an expression that dates back to those times, because that's what I see when I think il y a du monde au balcon. It's like we're all squished up and we can barely breathe, and there's just no more room left on this damn balcony. Just so you know, this is kind of like a funny compliment in a way. Like it's not nasty, it's not derogatory towards the other person. You know, like if your, I don't know, friend stepped out and she's wearing a particularly tight dress and the boobs are plunging over, you could absolutely be like, oh, il y a du monde au balcon, hein? And it would just be a sort of, you know, calling it out and having a bit of a giggle about it. It's not mean. Next up, the French don't just say you made a mistake, but they'll tell you that you've shat in the glue. Chier dans la colle. So just say you have a friend who's made a massive mistake and has caused a giant mess. You could say something like, oh là là, tu as vraiment chier dans la colle. Next up is a delicate wee expression. Can you tell when I'm being sarcastic? About passing gas. So instead of saying I passed gas, the French would say I dropped a crate. J'ai lâché une caisse. Now this next one, I can't quite comprehend where it might have come from. However, the French don't just say that they had good sex. They'll say that they took their own foot. Prendre son pied. So just say you're debriefing after a night out with a friend. You could say something like, hier soir j'ai couché avec un mec et j'ai pris mon pied quoi. And by saying that, you're saying that you had mind-blowing, amazing sex with the guy. This next French expression is a way to say, round, round, get around, I get around. So it is to sleep around. And for this, you would say, tremper son biscuit. And if you don't know what that means, tremper is dunking. So dunking his or her biscuit. Like you're dunking a biscuit in milk. That is the expression, and that is what's come into my mind now when I'm thinking about sleeping around. Now, if you have got one of those colleagues that you don't really know what they do. They're kind of a waste of space. They kind of do nothing. Maybe they occasionally nitpick from time to time, but they don't really do much. It could be completely natural in French to call them a fly sodomizer. Just let that sink in for a second. So the expression is enculeur de mouche, sodomizer of fly, just casually. So that's a noun. And if you were gossiping about this useless colleague of yours, you could say something like, non mais il encule les mouches, celui-là. He sodomizes flies, that one. Next up is a bit difficult to translate, but the French don't just say something is badly done, but they say it's bite me the end of my dick. Elle mord-moi le nœud. So for example, you could say, c'est quoi cette chanson? Elle mord-moi le nœud. That would mean what is this song that really sucks? It's terrible. Next up, and there are probably 100 different expressions for this, but French men don't masturbate. They polish their leek. Astiquer le poireau. I've also heard many different variations of this, but you can also polish or buff up your banana. Astiquer la banane. If you want to channel your French energy next time you're complaining that something is incredibly expensive, you can say it costs as much as asking. Oh la la, ça coûte le pot de cul. Next up, the French don't kiss with tongue, they spin a shovel to someone. Se rouler une pelle à quelqu'un. Il se roule des pelles au fond du cinéma. Next up, the French don't just say, you're lying to me, but they'll ask you, is my ass made of chicken? Et mon cul, c'est de poulet? And lastly, just to end on something nice and dirty, French men don't just get a hard on, they pitch a tent. Planter la tente. So instead of getting a hard on, you plante la tente. Planter la tente. So I hope that you have enjoyed these hilarious and filthy expressions in the French language. I would love to hear what your favorite was down below, or if you have any new ones for me. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining in on this episode of Not Even French, and I will see you in next week's video on the Not Even French channel. À bientôt!